This is Solo P and welcome to the race weekend, the Mexican Grand Prix race weekend. It's going to be, it's a Mexican Grand Prix. It's over. Got a winner, Carlos Sainz, first winner. He come third in 2021. He come third in 2022. Second in 2023. And now he has won it. Finally won it. But he's leaving Ferrari. But this is a good send-off for him. I think the best man won. He was good all weekend. It could have been Charles Leclerc, but, Carlos Sainz had his number. But before we're going to get into this weekend review, which is not going to be long, it's going to be a quick review because we're going to do the debrief after for the audio podcasters as well. If you like iTunes and audio, we'll be on there doing the debrief. But this is going to be talking about Checo Perez. This is more about Checo Perez. Checo Perez in his hometown of Mexico, his home country of Mexico. All his fans are there watching him drive. It's like they wait all year. They wait all year to see Checo. He's their God. He's their savior of Mexico. He will probably be the king of Mexico one day. He'll probably be running the country for Mexico one day. All he asks for him, all he asks Red Bull is to give him a good car, a good setup, so we can try and get on the podium. Just try. What did Red Bull do? They gave him the worst car. The worst car. Nowhere near Max Verstappen's caliber of car. Nowhere near. Max Verstappen was driving a Ferrari, and Checo Perez was driving a 1960s Mini. Seriously. That's what was going on in F1. What more can this man go through? What more can this man go through? He's in Mexico. His family, his friends, his whatever is there watching him. Family, friends, aunt, uncles. Everybody's watching him in Mexico. They want this guy to do well. They want him to even try and get on the podium. Just to show the people of Mexico that he's a good driver. Just to show the people of Mexico. But what did Red Bull do to Checo Perez? They humiliated him. They humiliated him in front of the entire country of Mexico. They humiliated him. I think he ended up coming about 12th or 13th. Maybe lower, I don't know. He was getting passed by everybody on the track. Coming into the pit. He had the worst strategy, as he always has. And the commentators of the penny has dropped. Finally, the penny has dropped. That they've done a review and it said that Checo Perez's car is not as good as Max Verstappen. The penny finally dropped. The penny. The penny for me dropped in 2021. Everybody knew in 2021 that Perez's car weren't as good as Max Verstappen. But the stupid Red Bull geeks, as they always do on Keyboard Warriors, saying the reason why Max's car's been fast since 2021 is not because of the car, it's because of Max Verstappen. So he's got nothing to do with the car that Max Verstappen is driving. It's all about Max Verstappen. That's the reason why Max Verstappen was winning by 30 seconds in 2022. That's why the reason why Max Verstappen was winning by 25 seconds in 2023. It was nothing to do with the car, nothing to do with Adrian Newey. It was all Max Verstappen. That's what the Red Bull geeks who know nothing about Formula One was saying on Twitter or X. But they've done some review and it came in that Checo's car's not as good as Max. You don't say. You don't say. So, enough of me rambling on with my speech. I'm going to bring in my Coke, who's my partner in crime for this review and for the channel. His name is Toto Ama. There you go. How's it going?
Yeah,
How's it going, bro?
yeah, it's going well. Of course, catching up on the Formula One and stuff like that, and season is getting a bit more interesting every single race it goes on. But yeah, feeling good.
Good. I was just having a rant about Checo Perez. That Checo Perez, finally people are coming out and saying that they've done some review in the car. They're saying that Max's car is faster than Checo. We knew this from 2021. I don't know why it took so long for the geeks on social media to figure this one out. Probably they always knew. They just wanted to put Max Verstappen up on a pedestal like he's this great driver. We know how that turned up regarding the weekend about being a great driver. This guy, Max Verstappen, will never ever learn. Tell me why won't he never learn, Toto? Please tell me why this guy will never learn when it regarding racing and close racing.
It's because when it comes to those big moments that like when every time someone comes close to him, he's never ever clean. He's clean sometimes. Like in Austin, he was clean,
Yeah,
but when it comes to them big moments, that if he passes me, he'll be more advantaged in the championship. What does he go and do? He goes and hits him or forces him out wide. He's the same one for Verstappen.
He'll never change, will he?
No.
Get my camera working. There you go. It'll never change. Now, the weekend, we know Carlos Sainz. We're not going to go through it in depth, really. We're just going to talk about the obvious because we're going to go to do the debrief in a minute. We'll go into more detail regarding the strategy-wise. But look, at the end of the day, Carlos Sainz won. For me, the right man won. But the keys, the big talking point of the weekend is Max Verstappen's 2 10-second penalty, which multiplied to 20. So, what was your thoughts on Max Verstappen's 20-second time penalty? And for me, it should have been more. Zach Brown was saying it should have been more. A lot of the fans were saying it's more. So what was your thoughts on that?
Well deserved. I think there is a lot of penalties that he deserved this season that he didn't get, especially in Austin. How many penalties he deserved, didn't get one. Especially last season with Lewis, for an example.
Yeah.
How many times did he force Lewis? And I think Lewis actually mentioned this. And look, it's all starting to come true. I believed it. And, all them incident with Lewis when he was forcing Lewis wide, he gets a Verstappen gets 20-second penalty now. What about the stuff times of Lewis? Aren't going to review them. Of course, I'm not going to review them. It's past time now, right?
Lewis.
Yeah, exactly. But how many times did Verstappen run Lewis off the track?
I know.
In the championship, especially in Abu Dhabi as well.
Brazil.
But yeah. Brazil, for an example, running them off wide, taking the wide, didn't get nothing out of it. He took the runoff area as an advantage, took them both off the runoff area, and you used Hamilton as basically as a deterrent. I just don't get this guy. I don't get this guy at all. He deserves a 20-second penalty. Dangerous driving. He went for an inside line that weren't even there, right? And if Lando wouldn't have moved, it would have been a crash, and then it would have both been DNF. So it wouldn't have mattered what penalty Verstappen gets; he wouldn't have been affected. So if Norris wouldn't have moved, right, it's why Verstappen and Norris have good reflexes. If Lando Norris wouldn't have moved at that split second, right, they would have both been out of the race, no points. Verstappen advantage would have been advantage for Verstappen because if they both finished with no points, but Verstappen still on top, that's less races that Lando has to make up the points, So. Good on Lando by avoiding it, but Verstappen deserved that 20-second penalty. But it's still not enough because he still finished with good points. It could be not the best points in the world, but he still finished with points to add to his tally. So that 20-second penalty, it lost him a lot of track position, but he still finished top 6.
Yeah,
still finishing the top 6, and top 6 is still good points. For the driver's title. So the driver's title is, of course, it's not over yet. And of course, Lando did gain points. But for me, if I was at FIA, No bias, by the way. If I was the FIA, I would have disqualified him because that is dangerous driving. When's the last time we actually got a black flag?
I don't know.
I think the last time was Vettel when he was in the Ferrari, or Ferrari got so many years ago, about 2016, 2015. I think that's the last black flag we've seen. When's the last time we saw a black flag again?
It's been a while. No, it's been a while since we saw a black flag. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, right, I know what he's saying. He's a dangerous driver. You thought at this point of his career that he would change, but he's not changing. He's just one of those kids just don't listen. And what makes me laugh, it's like the reporters, right, were kind of egging him on to say when they're bringing it, because they're bringing in some new rules regarding I think it's not Brazilian Grand Prix, Qatar. They're bringing in these new rules where they're gonna, not new rules, they're discussing new rules that the drivers and the FIA, everybody's gonna get together and discuss what's the boundaries of Formula One, what's going on. Martin Brundle said, why can't there just be one referee like they do in football and a lot of sports where you get a football, you get a referee that referees it, and then obviously you've got the VAR in the back for any controversial decisions, and obviously they're not doing that. F1 are in a little bubble, they don't tend to kind of go with the times regarding the rules and stuff like that. Look, we know what happened in 2021. But yeah, Max Verstappen is a menace. Commentators were kind of egging him on, saying, it's racing, what Max ain't going to change. Okay, he's not going to change. How about you make him change? How about you say to him, the next time you do stuff like that, you get banned for a race and we take points off you? The reason why he's acting all arrogant on there, because he thinks he's won the title. He thinks he's way ahead now. He thinks, okay, even though we know Lando gained 12 points on him through the weekend, which is good. We know that's good. We know Lando's got a better chance now of trying to contest the title with Max Verstappen. But at the end of the day, if the FIA would have said to him, all right, you ban the next race, then you would have saw his face change. You get me? So, what's your opinion on the ruling, and do you think the FIA is going to do anything really regarding the new rules?
No, not really. I think it's gonna still be the same. Like I said, at the end of the day, right? This season, he deserved a lot more penalties. 1/22. He deserved 30 seconds at least this season. How many times he ran Lando Norris off the road, right? Yeah. And it's all the times when he's wheel to wheel with Lando Norris. It's never a fair fight. It's never a fair race. It's always controversial. Like Austin, right? You could say it was 50-50. It's always controversy in Austin where him and Norris were going wheel to wheel, right? And he gave Norris no space. And you know what Verstappen does? The same pattern. Is that when they go wheel to wheel, he gives Norris no space, so Norris will have to take the runoff area to try to overtake him off the runoff area. And that's how he does it. He runs them, he forces them off wide, right? Then he uses the excuse that they passed him off the track. Now, what Lando can say is that where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to go? You're supposed to leave a car's width going into a corner.
Yeah, you know
a
that.
Car's width, right? Verstappen don't leave any of that. He forces them on the road, the runoff area.
Yeah.
So Lando has no chance. End of the day, right? If you give no one any space around the outside, you're entitled to that runoff area now.
I know.
There are the rules. You're entitled to that runoff area because at least you don't go with the runoff area. You don't go too wide. But if you stay just with a car's width on the runoff area, you should be fine, really.
Yeah.
Because the other driver didn't give you much space. That's what the runoff area is there for.
Yeah, you're right.
But what's the point of a runoff area if it's not even going to be used properly?
I know.
So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
So Derek Tate, big up. Good to see you, brothers. As always, would love to know your opinion on how well Lewis to do at Ferrari. Would you love to hear, as always, keep in doing your thing? Yeah. Regarding Lewis at Ferrari, I think it's a good thing for him. He needs a reset. Me and Toto's talked plenty of times on this channel regarding Lewis Hamilton and the way how weird it is how good his times are in practice session, and then when he gets to qualifying, his time just drops off, and in the race as well. It's a bit weird that how his time's dropped off. We've had a few hints from the media saying they think it's weird how his time just suddenly drops Lewis Hamilton said it as well during the race that again, my car good in practice, but in qualifying and race, not so much. And he said that on the radio, so he knew everybody was listening. So I think Lewis Hamilton is getting frustrated as well. But then there's a positive to this. Lewis Hamilton is going to Ferrari. He's going to have a good reset. You can see how the Ferrari's performing now with Sainz in the car and Charles Leclerc. That must be giving Lewis Hamilton some confidence that he's going to go to a team that are getting better and better. And you know what, Lewis Hamilton, if he gets in a half-decent car, even a half-decent car, he can win a championship, because you know how Lewis is, his experience. And Lewis will prove that it's the driver as well, that obviously the car and the driver has to be in harmony. But if anyone can do it, it's Lewis Hamilton, you know, 8-time world champion. And when he goes to Ferrari, he's going to be a 9-time world champion, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on it, Derek. What about you, Toto?
Well, what did the chat say again?
He said, regarding Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I agree with it. I think it's a good decision. I think the Mercedes team is up and down at the moment. Sometimes their car could be good, and sometimes the car could be not good. Just up and down season for Mercedes so far. But Ferrari looks like they are on the up. You know, the new upgrades coming through as well. They look really, really good after the summer break. So yeah, I think good decision. You're going to be in a good car, competitive car, hopefully challenging for world titles, and I think guaranteed, in my opinion, challenging for podiums, which is good. But I want to see him to go for that 10th title, man. My opinion, 10th, because that Abu Dhabi one still a 9th to me. You know,
the Abu Dhabi one was the 8th. Some people say that the
8th.
People say the 2015 was his book when he had his engine blow up, but we can say that he was going for his 9th. When he goes to Ferrari, if he does win it, that'll be his 9th world title, in my opinion. But yeah. Good question. Next one. Max does what they allow him to do. 2021, the powers to be really didn't want Lewis to win. If he had the car last few years, there's no doubt in mind that he'll probably have 111. Oh yeah, of course. We know when it comes to this is why they didn't want Carlos Sainz to go to Red Bull, for that specific reason. What you just said, Derek. They don't want him to go to Red Bull, is because they know if Carlos Sainz goes to Red Bull, he will challenge Max Verstappen. And the powers to be, like you alliterated right there, they do not want no one to challenge Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is their star boy, and they do want no one. Whoever goes there will have to be second. This is why I've still got a little feeling that maybe Daniel Ricciardo will go there, because Daniel Ricciardo, there's no team that won him in Formula 1. The only team that he's got a chance of is Red Bull. Now, Red Bull done the same thing with Checo Perez. Checo Perez, he weren't in line to go to no more teams. His only option was Red Bull. So Red Bull are kind of team for me. They'll make him sweat a bit over before the end of the season, make him get more desperate, and then they'll come out in the contract and say, look, you want to come to Red Bull, but you've got to support Max Verstappen, and they know that they will take it because they'll be desperate. It's the same thing they've done with Checo Perez, and I got a feeling that Daniel Ricciardo will go to Red Bull because they only care about Max. What about you, Zozo?
Yeah.
Other drivers going there?
I think Red Bull, you know, if they do consider to sign Daniel Ricciardo, it'll be a good signing for them, because they know that Ricciardo I'm sure Ricciardo would like a world title, yeah, but I think Ricciardo, that kind of driver, is like the yes man. He don't mind playing number 2.
Yeah.
They don't want to get two showman drivers, you know, showman that just care about them individual selves and just care about winning titles. Look, a bad chemistry by getting Verstappen and Norris in the same team ain't gonna work. There's gonna be controversy. There's gonna be arguments. There's not gonna be a good relationship between the two. That's why Hamilton and Bottas was a really good combination.
Yeah.
Because Bottas will listen to the team.
Yeah.
Right. And this is how Mercedes have it. Whoever is the strongest driver in the first couple of races is the main driver. Lewis was probably the strongest driver all the times getting above that Bottas. On Bottas, what was good of Bottas that they were friends with each other. Hamilton and Bottas were friends with each other, built a friendship, and Bottas was willing to help Lewis win the title. And you got to say that Bottas was probably 50% of why Lewis won all those titles. I call Lewis won the title because he was good and he, probably one of the best drivers in the world, if not the best driver in Formula 1 history, right? But Bottas was there to help him as well, holding up, getting 1-2s, helping the constructors out, because he don't mind being number 2.
But with Red Bull, they always favour Max Verstappen anyway.
Exactly. So they'll rather get a driver who's just willing to play number 2 anyway.
Yeah,
and it's in
make
there.
Sure they get to desperate mode, innit? Like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But good question anyway, Derek Tate. But regarding the weekend, Lando Norris, with the points. So you got the penalty. Lando Norris. No, you got the penalty. What's it called again? What's his name? Max Verstappen got the penalty. 20-second time penalty, that which enabled Lando Norris. I think he made about 13 points on him, so that's a good news. I'm gonna bring up the table in a minute, and I'll just tell you where the points are. I think there's only about 38 points between them now. 4 races to go. I think there's 2 sprint weekends left, so it's going to be tight. I wouldn't mind if Max Verstappen gets a DNF in the next race, or that'll bring it right close. Then they'll probably go in the They'll probably go in the Qatar on similar points. 10 points between them. So I still think Lando Norris can do it. Before the race, to be fair, I did say that I think the weekend might be that the title might be over, but because Max Verstappen got that 20-second time penalty, I think the race is back on. I think the championship's back on, and I think Lando Norris is showing some confidence now. Regarding when he does his interviews, he's showing his confidence, and that's a good thing, because the last race, when he had his last race, when we had the sprint weekend, he never seemed. I think he lost his edge. Seemed like he's lost his confidence. But after this weekend, it looks like he's got his mojo back. So, what's your opinion on Lando Norris, and do you think he's still got a shot at it?
Yeah, but it's going to be harder and harder.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for him. It's going to be really, really hard for him. He's got to win every race at this point, or Verstappen needs to finish low down in the points order, and Lando Norris just needs to keep on finishing ahead of him, right? Yeah. But by more points, we don't want Norris to get first and Verstappen second. It's not good enough.
No.
Even though Norris is in first, getting more points and catching up with Max. Max has still got the advantage. All he has to do is finish second, third every single race, and he'll win the title. I'm
not sure. I think I'm not sure if he's. I'm not sure that. I think if Lando Norris finishes first every single race, I think he'll win the title. I think that's what, because before the sprint race weekend. Before the sprint work, when we had the sprint work, where was the sprint? Singapore, innit?
Yeah.
Before Singapore, I think Martin Brundle come out and said if Lando Norris won every single race from now to the end of the season and the sprint race, he would win the title by 2 points, 1 or 2 points. But what happened, because Lando Norris didn't have a good weekend at the sprint weekend, and he ended up coming 4th in the race, then it was kind of becoming hard for him. Yeah. But because Lando Norris gained about 13 points on Max Verstappen, the race just gone, I think that theory thing what Brundle was talking about, I think it's still there. So if Lando Norris wins every single race from now to the end of the season, I think if Max comes third once or something, yeah? If Max comes third once and Lando wins every single race, I think he wins the title. That's what I thought. That's what Martin Brundle said. So, because you remember, we've got 4 races left and 2 sprint race weekends. So with the sprint race weekend, you can pick up more points.
Yeah.
So if Lando wins every single race, he wins the sprint weekend, wins the sprint race, both of them, he'll win the title. But what we need, because that's too tight, isn't it? What we need his teammate to help him out, and we need Ferrari to help him out as well, just to make sure he can try and get it over the line, you know. Or we need if Max Verstappen gets a DNF. So, you know what I mean? What you reckon?
Yeah, so we gotta hope that, you know, Lando doesn't battle his starts up.
Yeah.
He had a good start. You know, this race he had a good start. Got away cleanly, gained some positions. But what he has to do is he's just gotta keep it together now. He's gotta keep it together. It's coming to the end of the season. Only a couple more races left. A few more races left.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got to win the sprint race. His teammates got to help him. His teammate has got to help him, because if his teammate's not there, it's gonna be way harder. If Norris and Piastri is up there 1-2, 1-3, say if Norris is in first and Piastri's in third, and Verstappen's challenging Piastri for third place for that podium position, Piastri can hold him up.
Yeah.
Piastri can hold him up, right? Fight with him, yeah, and potentially finish ahead of Max. So, say if Max finishes fourth and Norris first, you know how much point difference that is?
I know.
That's Piastri now he's not cutting the mustard at this point.
No.
His qualifying been terrible recently. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose. Or I don't know if McLaren is screwing him over. Now
McLaren gonna do it, because
McLaren ain't gonna do nothing. So I'm kind of leaning towards the on purpose side, but I don't know yet. I'm not gonna go that far.
The constructors to do.
But yeah, if he's doing it on purpose, he's costing his teammate and the constructors. So yeah, Norris has got to pull it all together. Finish first, win, finish ahead of Max by points. He needs to gain as much points as possible. He's got to gain maximum points this weekend. He's got to win that sprint weekend. He's got to win that race.
Yeah,
he's got to do that.
So that's it, man. That was the review. We just wanted to go briefly today. Let's see how they finished. I'll go through how they finished. The results, probably know already, obviously. We're going to bring them round here. So, how they finished was Carlos Sainz won, second was Lando Norris, third Leclerc. I think another 2 laps Norris would have gained on Sainz. Fourth was Hamilton, fifth was George Russell, sixth was Verstappen, seventh was Magnussen, 8th was Piastri, 9th was Hülkenberg, 10th was Gasly, 11th was Stroll, 12th was Colapinto, 13th was Ocon, 14th was Bottas, 15th was Juan Zhou, 16th was Lawson, 17th was Perez, 18th was Alonso, 19th was Albon, and 20th was Yuki Tsunoda. So that's how it finished, guys. So listen now, we're going to go a pre-record now. We're going to be doing a debrief. Look out for that on our audio podcast, LOPY podcast. It's going to be changed to Keep It Sports today or tomorrow. So the name will probably change. If you look for it tomorrow, it's going to be Keep It Sports. So just look out for that as well. And yeah, see you later. So, well, I'm going to see you in a minute. We're going to do the debrief.
Yep.
So see you later, guys. Big up. Big up.
On the brakes, Leclerc has that inside line. Perez goes off the track, comes to chicane, off goes Leclerc.